So, you've got thick yellow toenails that make you hide your feet even in the summer. What if I told you it's not just cosmetic, and fixing it could actually reveal a lot about your metabolic health? This video isn't just about clearing up your nails. It's about understanding what's happening underneath in your immune system, your blood sugar, and your skin microbiome. And if this is a problem you've been trying to solve, hang in there until the end, because I'll share the most effective treatments, when to test your liver, and a powerful natural remedy you may already have in your home right now. So let's break this down from the top. What exactly is toenail fungus? It's most often caused by dermatophytes. Those are fungi that feed on keratin, the protein that makes up your skin, hair, and nails. They love a warm, moist, low oxygen environment. That means your sweaty gym socks. Fungi's dream home. Now here's where it gets medical. When the fungus infiltrates the nail bed, usually through small cracks or microscopic trauma, it begins breaking down keratin with enzymes like keratinases and proteases. This disrupts nail structure and turns them thick, brittle, and yellowish brown. And because toenails grow slowly, about 1 to 2 millimeters a month, it takes months to even notice improvement. That's why you can't expect overnight results. Most full nail regrowth takes 6 to 18 months. Now here's the real doctor stuff. Who's really at risk? Number 1, people with poor circulation and neuropathy, especially in people with diabetes, which slows the delivery of immune cells to the nail bed. So when fungus shows up, your immune system isn't bringing back up in time. Number 2, high blood sugar. It literally feeds yeast and fungal growth. Glucose diffuses through tissue fluids, creating an ideal fungal buffet. That's why everyone with diabetes has to focus on their foot care, and why this is more than just cosmetic. Number 3, immune suppression from steroid use. Autoimmune conditions or age make it harder to mount a proper defense. Even your local microbiome can be affected, giving fungus a competitive edge. Number 4, moisture, heat, and trauma. Whether it's tight shoes, locker rooms, or aggressive pedicures damage the nail's natural barrier and introduce spores. Number 5, aging nails. As we get older, nails grow slower, thicker, and develop microtraumas more easily, which makes them easier targets. You may have been told, don't worry about it, it's just cosmetic. But here's what your doctor may not have told you. For people with diabetes, nail fungus increases the risk of ulcers, cellulitis, and even amputation. Psychologically, it affects self-esteem. Many of my patients are embarrassed to wear sandals, go to the beach, or even get a pedicure. And fungus doesn't just stay put. It spreads to other nails, to your skin, like athlete's foot, or to others in your household. So if you've been told that it's not worth treating, I think for many people, yes, it's worth treating. And speaking of treatments, let's talk about the types of treatments you should be considering. Let's start with topical treatments. These are antifungal lacquers like efinaconazole, taboberol, and cyclopurox. They're most effective in mild cases, maybe 1 or 2 nails, without full nail bed involvement. But here's the rub. Daily application for up to 48 weeks. Only 30 to 50% complete cure rate. Often a slow process, but worth trying in early cases or when pills aren't an option. Think of it like brushing your teeth. It requires consistent daily effort with slow but steady benefit. Now let's talk about oral antifungals. These are particularly helpful for more stubborn cases or when multiple nails are involved. Oral meds are usually the most effective option. Terbinafine is the gold standard. It works by inhibiting squalene epoxidase, an enzyme fungi need to make their protective cell membrane. That's like removing the brick layer from a building site. No more fungal fortress. The dose is about 250 milligrams daily for 6 to 12 weeks, and for toenails, definitely 12 weeks. The cure rate's 70 to 80%. The recurrence is about 20 to 25%, often due to reinfection reinfection or untreated shoes or socks. Now what about the liver? Yes, liver toxicity is a concern, but it's extremely rare when you monitor properly. Studies show that for people with normal liver tests, the risk of serious injury is well below 1%. Most people who get side effects have either chronic liver disease or are taking interacting medications. So here's my recommended monitoring protocol. Number 1, baseline liver function test within 3 months before starting. Number 2, recheck at 6 to 8 weeks into therapy. Number 3, discontinue only if ALT or AST, which are your liver enzymes, are 3 times greater than normal, or if symptoms develop. And let me review the symptoms really quickly. Symptoms of liver toxicity include abdominal pain, fatigue, nausea, vomiting, jaundice, which is yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, and in severe cases, confusion, bleeding, and swelling in the abdomen or legs. And yes, I've had patients who've tolerated this beautifully, but I always check first. Let's talk nature. Tea tree oil, 10 to 50%, has real antifungal properties. It disrupts fungal membranes and can work in mild cases. Vicks Vapor Rub. This one I learned from my wife, who just happens to be a pharmacist. Surprising, right? But the menthol and thymol show promise in small studies. One showed about 50% visible improvement in 48 weeks. Then we have laser therapy, which heats and destroys fungal elements with pulses of light. But results vary, and it's usually not covered by insurance. But these aren't magic bullets. Think of them as supporting players, great as adjuncts, but rarely curative alone in advanced cases. So here's how I approach this in clinic. Scenario 1, mild cases, no diabetes. Typically, you only need a topical plus optional natural options. And I would monitor for about 12 months. Scenario number 2, moderate to severe cases. Oral terbinafine plus hygiene plus possibly a topical. Scenario number 3, diabetes or immune suppression. All the above plus stricter monitoring. Scenario number 4, which is recurrence. Add laser treatment, treat the shoes, the socks, and the floors. And for all, always reinforce foot hygiene, which includes rotate shoes to allow drying, use breathable socks, disinfect nail tools like your clippers, spray inside shoes with antifungal powder. Also important, treat tinea pedis if it's present. Don't ignore that athlete's foot. This part is key. People expect results in a month, but toenails grow like molasses. It takes 6 to 18 months for a full toenail to regrow. And that's assuming the infection is gone and no reinfection happens. Here's a tip. I have my patients take photos every 2 to 3 months to track the slow progress. So let's wrap this up with a bow. Fungal toenails are not just cosmetic. For some, they're a marker of metabolic health, immune dysfunction, or chronic skin imbalance. So don't just cover it up, treat it from the root. If you have diabetes, normalize that blood sugar. Eat low carb, keto, or a carnivore diet. Keep your immune system strong. And yes, feel confident treating this without guilt or shame. If you've made it to this part of the video and it's helped you, or someone you love is battling nail fungus, hit like, subscribe, and share this with them. It could save someone a lot of frustration. I've dropped my full playlist in the description below. Click through if you want to keep building better health from your nails to your neurons. Oh, and of course, this video isn't medical advice. It's education from a board-certified doc who's seen thousands of toes in my career. Talk to your doctor about your personal plan. And until next time, protect your nest and your nails.